Alrighty then, welcome everyone. I would like to hereby open this session, our Santa Rita School Board District meeting for Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. I would like to start the meeting by call to order for roll call.
Ms. Cindy Lopez,
Here.
Ms. Alvariano,
Here.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Here.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Sarah Turner is not present this evening.
Okay. Having said that, one of the best parts is to do the Pledge of Allegiance to start the meeting. So I was humbly requesting if our trustee Lopez would lead us tonight. Thank you very much.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item. Thank you very much, Ms. Lopez. I appreciate that. We're going to move forward with 1.3 approval board agenda. My understanding there's a modification at hand,
Yes.
Superintendent.
Mr. President, I would like to request a revision to closed session item 2.4 to remove employee number 160809 from the resolution attachment A.
I move to approve the agenda with the changes.
Okay.
I
Can just-
second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Do I need to read up all of these? You want me to say these are the items that we going, is it?
You'll just read the bold.
All right, our closed session items, 2.1, public employee appointment and appointment and employment and or employment. 2.2, potential litigation. 2.3, public employee performance evaluation, and with the modification of 2.4 as stated earlier. Any changes to that? Are we okay with that? Yeah. Motion?
Okay, motion to adjourn. Oh, is there any public comments?
Yeah.
before?
I apologize. Is there any public comment?
There are no
Any-
public
Any
comments.
close? All right, any other comments before we move? I would like to entertain a motion to move to close.
I motion to adjourn the closed session.
Second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We're reconvening back into open session of our Santa Rita School Board District meeting on February 28, 2024. During closed session, the board approved resolution 24.0202 for the non-reelection of employee 160790. The vote was 4-0. Also, during the closed session, the board approved a stipulated expulsion agreement for student discipline matter 2024.01, and the vote was once again 4-0. Having said that, we're going to move forward with agenda item 5.0. Fellow board members, I hope you have reviewed the agenda. Any modifications before I ask for a vote?
Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? item?
Second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano.
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right. Now we come to my most favorite moment of all of our board meetings, and it is our school presentations. Today, we are very fortunate for 6.0 reports and correspondence. First up is School Spotlight. Right here, Gavilan View Middle School. Thank you very much. And I apologize. I said my favorite moment, our favorite moment.
Good evening, Ms. Alderman and Cabinet, President Patel, Ms. Turner, Ms. Arellano, Mr. Sandoval, and Ms. Lopez, Santa Rita family members, friends, and community members.
I am Bella Garcia, the 2023 to 2024 8th grade president at Gavilan View Middle School.
I am Nicole Soto Rodriguez, the 2023 to 2024 8th grade vice president at Gavilan View Middle School.
We are here on behalf of Gavilan View students, faculty, staff, and administration to update you on our activities and accomplishments. We would like to thank you for allowing us this time to speak before you today and for all the time and consideration you put into making both Gavilan View Middle School and all of Santa Rita Union Elementary School District the best they can be.
There have been changes to our school, but one major change that we would like to acknowledge and appreciate this year is some of our newest staff members. First and foremost, we want to acknowledge Mrs. Antuna, our amazing principal. Mrs. Antuna has been our vice principal for the last 2 years, and this year she became our principal. She does a great job at what she does and makes a fantastic team with our new vice principal, Ms. Coronel. Together, they make our school a safe and enjoyable place to come every day. We would also like to take the time to acknowledge our new teachers this year that are making a positive impact on our campus. We would like to welcome Ms. Timmons, Ms. Nazario, Ms. Riso, and Mr. Zimmerman to the Gavilan View family. Although she isn't new, we just wanted to show our appreciation as our ASB director, Ms. Gail, has done an amazing job at showing us how to be leaders, and we couldn't thank her enough for it.
ASB is our first leadership class that we offer here at Gavilan View. ASB is led by our activities director, Ms. Gill. ASB hosts dances, rec nights, movie nights, and fundraisers, 8th grade events, spirit weeks, field trips, and more. Our students put everything together and put it in a work to plan and organize every event. These events always run smoothly and spread school spirit. Ms. Gill has also taught us how to use our public speaking skills and how to become amazing leaders.
PE Leadership is the second leadership class that we offer here at Gavilan View. PE Leadership is led by our athletic director, Mr. Flores. The PE Leadership program is essential in supporting our sports programs and school culture. Examples of responsibilities include home game setup, working the admissions, snack bar, and scoreboard for our middle school athletics, along with elementary school programs. On campus, we help plan our end of quarter game day celebrations, turkey trot, and other fundraisers. We're always there for a helping hand and continue to grow our leadership skills through these opportunities.
ASB hosted our annual popcorn fundraiser this fall, raising about $10,000 in total. We will also be hosting our annual cookie dough fundraiser this spring. We value the ability to have these fundraisers in order for us to be able to host events such as rec nights and free movie nights, as well as be able to host game days and honor bingo at the end of every quarter.
At the end of every quarter, we do something special to celebrate. PE Leadership hosts an event that the students and staff have become familiar with as Game Day. On this day, the school runs on a reverse minimum day schedule, which means that class is shorter. We go to our classes in backwards order and then have 2 hours to spare in the day. When doing this, it leaves us with time to prepare and set up for fun games and activities to do during the last 2 hours of the day. These activities include face painting, video games, board games, our version of a Jeopardy game, ping pong, photos, coloring, as well as an area where you can just go to dance with your friends.
During our reverse minimum day, we have Honor Bingo. Honor Bingo is an event hosted by ASB and is used to reward our outstanding students who have 3.0 or higher GPAs or perfect attendance from last quarter. This takes place during third period and a little bit of second period. If you get a bingo, you yell bingo and come up to the front so they can check your card. If the bingo is valid, you can pick up any gift card that is available on the table. We offer a variety of $10 gift cards for students to choose from, such as Target, Starbucks, Jamba Juice, and Amazon. The students also receive a complimentary ice cream after bingo has finished.
The school was also kind enough to bring a wonderful beach trip to the school. Unfortunately, we were suffering from a student limit as we cannot bring everyone in the school to the beach, hypothetically. So, tickets were first come, first serve, and slots available. However, to those who were able to get tickets, they were in for a massive treat as we had access to sports equipment such as soccer and footballs. Students were also able to cool off by taking a dip in the water, as well as the teacher chaperones and staff serving and making food for all the students who went. This trip to Del Monte Beach truly proved that a nice day at the beach is just something you cannot pass up.
In November, we had our annual turkey trot hosted by Miss Johnson. Prior to the turkey trot, Miss Johnson and the 8th grade girls volleyball team hosted a Stafford's 8th grade volleyball game to raise money for turkeys. The turkey trot consists of 5 stations: math questions, drawing a hand turkey, scooter riding, chalk signatures, and hula hoop tossing. The students would need to run to the stations as quickly as possible to win a delicious turkey for their families for Thanksgiving. During their event, there is music from DJ Jose and many people cheering you on. We even had our very own turkey who would chase the students around. The students were also separated into grade level. The top 3 students from each grade received a turkey and a shirt. The rest of the students who ran entered into a raffle for a turkey to take home to their families.
Other events that we have had the pleasure of hosting this year include Fall Rec Night, Fall Dance, Winter Wonderland, Movie Night, and Valentine's lunchtime activities.
This year, we tried out something new. On one Thursday out of every month, we changed the schedule so there's time for the teachers to teach students about social emotional work. A few things that these lessons have taught are learning how to use the 5 senses in case of emergencies, bullying awareness, and recently stress and anxiety.
Through this school year, Gavilan View will be offering seasonal sports for all of our students. During the fall, we offered girls volleyball, cross country, fencing, and boys soccer. During the winter season, which just ended, we offered boys and girls basketball. Finally, during the spring, we will offer wrestling, track and field, girls soccer, boys and girls flag football, and boys volleyball. This year, we had the amazing opportunity to hold a tournament for our girls basketball team. They went undefeated 10-0.
Thank you so much for your time.
Board members, would you like to make a comment starting from my left, Ms. Lopez?
Well, thank you, ladies, for that. You guys took me down memory lane. I was a Hawk. I'm a Hawk, will always be a Hawk. And game day, all of this stuff that you guys talked, it's so awesome that our school still has that. We're keeping our traditions. It's so awesome to hear that. It takes a lot for someone to join leadership, to be the role models for everybody else. And I am proud of you guys, and hopefully one day you guys will be here as well and making a difference for the students like we all try to. Thank you guys
so much.
Amazing job, girls. You have showed a lot of leadership with your presentation. You were just so smooth and very confident. And you really gave us a lot of information of what's going on at your school. I'm also a Hawk. I didn't go to Gavilan View, but my 4 adult children did. And now my grandchildren are coming to or are here enrolled in this district. But you both showed a lot of leadership qualities, and $10,000 that you guys raised.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really good because that goes into a lot of activities that you guys are involved in. I can't say anything better than you. This Gavilan View has always been close to my heart because all of my children, my whole family has gone to Gavilan View. I hope to see you when you are in high school because you are really showing a lot of qualities that is very necessary for you to go on into college and high school. So thank you for your presentation. Just loved it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say you did both an awesome job. It takes a lot of courage to go up there and speak and stuff. I was a hawk myself too, so I did get a little bit of memory lane. It's like game day. That was fun. You know, but it is a lot of amazing things going on at Gavilan View. So thank you. Continue the awesome job. You know, Miss Johnson was there when I was in school. So yeah, so I just want to say thank you and just keep up the great work. And you know, we need more leaders like yourselves to keep being role models and you know, showing others. So thank you.
Thank you.
To our lady scholars from Gavilan View, I want to say thank you for your presentation. Whenever I see strong, independent, intellectual ladies speaking, you guys are role models, and I need for you to remember that, and as you progress throughout your education, be that role model. There are a lot of other ladies younger than you who need that, and so please, and gentlemen, but please, thank you. A couple of things about the school. I love the idea of celebrating success. I think oftentimes in schools, we get down into punishment, this issue, that issue, but there's a lot of great success happening at our schools. So I love it when we can increase the celebration of the successes, and achievements. The other thing is the turkey trot. This is a uniquely Gavilan View, Santa Rita thing. This is a culture thing. This is our thing, and I know outside of here with turkey trot, what's that? This is us. There's a community coming together, and thank you for Gavilan View for so many years putting in the effort of providing this great event and providing a turkey during Thanksgiving, and getting our kids involved. And last but not least, there's something that you guys covered that really gets to me, and that is the beach trip. I teach high school across town. And when I talk to my students and I hear the number of students who live here in Salinas who have never been to the beach less than 15 minutes away, and the fact that this district has for so many years supported this idea of, no, we're going to keep that as both field trips for both middle schools. I understand there was an issue of maybe not having enough room, we can work on that, but once again, it's providing opportunity and providing vision of what is possible. And that is what I think this district does well, through the work of our staff and our community, and especially our scholars, So thank you very much for your presentation. Having said that, do you have your parents you'd like to introduce, and so we can celebrate them as well? Because we know they're the one.
My mom's here.
Can you introduce her, please?
How do I introduce her? This is my mom, Selena. Come on, Mom. No, you have to take a picture of it.
Thank you. Would you like a picture with the board as well? Yeah,
Yes.
that would be nice. You want to?
No, they are not.
We're here for you, and we see you. It's recorded on YouTube. Millions.
Thank you so much.
Let's grab a group photo real quick. Yeah.
I know.
Go. You two are in front and center.
Great job. Yeah, great job. I think which way we're facing that way or? Yeah, we'll send it. Oh, right here.
And let's get everybody.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
So we're gonna continue the meeting. However, parents, this might be a good time if you had other priorities, you know, this would be a good segue. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome. We welcome you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Don't take that personally. I want to go home.
Standing room only. All right, we're gonna move forward. By the way, thank you, board, for putting this up early, you know, right from
Yes.
the beginning. So thank you very much. 6.2, Santa Rita Teachers Association. Do we have a representative? All right, and then we're gonna move forward with 6.3, our California School Employees Association, CSEA. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good. My name is Juana Casillas, and I'm the CSA chapter president. Tonight, I am excited to report that CSEA and the district has come to a tentative agreement. Our members are pleased and appreciative, and we would like to go ahead and they're happy and appreciative and really excited as well too. We would like to go ahead and thank the district and the board for supporting the classified in our negotiations. We look forward to continuing to collaborate with the district in future negotiations. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're gonna go to 6.4, Superintendent's Cabinet.
We will start with Director of Special Education and Student Services, Ms. Melanie Grundy.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. Just a few things to report since the last board meeting. Special Ed has had the opportunity to go to several recruitment fairs and just really getting our name out there. I'm very grateful to HR department for getting us registered and just supporting us. We attended the CSUMB and MCOE, and I got the opportunity to be interviewing the entire time. So really just great to look to our local community for recruiting and pulling folks that are already here. We also had an opportunity to interview teachers in the Philippines. So we partnered with MCOE and were able to do those interviews earlier in the week. So that was very exciting. They answered with good morning and I'm like, it's evening here. But that was really nice just going through that experience. And, you know, I don't know if we'll get anyone from that yet, but it was a good learning opportunity for our team. Really working on special education projections for next year. So already looking at who's coming in, students transitioning to the high school, working on transition meetings, and really just thinking through all the services we're gonna want to have for our students for next school year. And then last but not least, I'm really excited. We had our last special education leadership meeting around MOD Severe curriculum. We've had a series where we looked at various curriculums. So I'm excited. I'm not going to speak too soon. I'll knock on wood, but excited to bring curriculum for board approval at next board meeting for our Mod Severe special day classes. So super exciting stuff. That's it for me. Are there any questions?
No questions. I'm very pleased to see that we're expanding horizons and look going wherever we need to get our teachers and staff, and especially special ed. I know at the district I work with, we've had quite a bit of success with teachers from the Philippines. So I'm hoping that's a great venture out there. But once again, wherever we got to go, I'm glad you're out there. Thank you.
All our options.
Right, we'll move on to Director of Engagement and School Climate, Dr. Summer Prather-Smith.
Good evening. Just a quick thank you to our SRUSD community who have stepped up, and lots of signups for our community resource fair and carnival to support. So lots of those game spots getting filled in. Our community liaisons, our district nurses, and our district social worker have secured over 35 community organizations that will be present that day. And a big thank you to the Salvation Army, who's going to be providing hot dog meals for 1,500 participants, as well as nachos. So thank you to all of them. We are going to have lots of great activities happening on April 20th. So thank you for that. Tomorrow, we will launch our universal screener for student mental health, starting with the 6th graders at Gavilan View Middle School. So starting tomorrow morning, we'll have a team of mental health support providers here in the district office, which will include our team, as well as our partners at CSUMB who are going to be piloting with us. Students will take the mental health screener during second period. It takes them between 10 and 15 minutes, and we get the results as soon as they do the assessment. So if there's any area that's tagged on there as area of concern, we'll have that mental health team available and ready to support students right away. So I'm going to transform this with some bags that they'll be using during that time. So we're excited to kind of try that on the small scale with our 6th graders, with hopes of launching a district-wide universal screener in the coming year as well. So thank you.
No, just excited about the fair that's coming up and stuff. So.
I keep thinking back when I started on this board, and the level of commitment and engagement with our community, and providing the vital services that our parents and students need. All I can say is thank you. It's been a long time coming. And so I just hope it continues to grow. The need was always been there. It's just our ability to address them, and how and who. How and who was always difficult. And so I want to say thank you. I know it's a difficult job, so I know we have staff, we have teachers, we have classified, but there are other issues, other side concerns that we need to deal with, and engaging our community is by far our greatest asset. So thank you.
Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Becky Moore.
Thank you. I have a short list. The district calendar for next school year should be ready for our next board meeting. It's under a final review from SRTA. CSEA has already provided their feedback. We have submitted our Employee of the Year nominations for our classified staff last week, and this week we will make those nominations to MCOE for our teachers, who will be honored. Save the date for May 10th if any of you are interested in joining in that dinner celebration. Summer and I have been collaborating a lot on planning for the Professional Development Day, along with some support from Melanie. That's coming up on April 2nd. And I want to thank all of the teachers who participated in the thought exchange to give us their input on what topics would be important to them for this upcoming session. That has really been able to guide our planning. I will be going along with Daisy from my HR department to Mexico City next month. I was gonna say next week. I'm stressing Melissa out because I haven't made travel arrangements yet. This is typical between us. So as we're looking to bring in a dual language program at some point, we would anticipate the need to recruit teachers from outside of the country who are very skilled in teaching Spanish. So Summer and I attended the meeting at the California Department of Education 2 weeks ago. or so to get information on the visiting teachers program, and decided we have a great opportunity to try with one teacher to learn about how this process works and potentially bring a teacher to Santa Rita. Our goal would be to look for somebody maybe from one of the more indigenous areas who speaks a third language to support our students and families. And so Daisy and I will be making that trip next month, and we're really excited about the opportunity. And finally, on Friday, Daisy and I are participating in interviews for our Alder program teachers, and that will be for the teacher residency program. It sounds like we may be able to get 3 or 4 teachers to come on board with us next year for that program. And they will be working side by side with master teachers as they're going through their credential program work. It's a very intensive program, but they grow to be our own teachers. And so it's a great opportunity for us as well. Thank you.
I want to go to Mexico. Can I go with you?
I'm waiting for it to the end.
Well, a couple of things. The dual immersion program, I mean, that I think is our next direction. I mean, I think that'll perfectly fit our community. I think it's something needed. I think it shows great amount of success in growth in terms of education levels. All the studies I've seen prove that dual immersion ends up increasing overall impact on education in terms of achievement. So I'm looking forward to the implementation of that. The one thing that I'm going to raise again, which I raise every year, is the calendar. You know, this is my one rub that really gets me upset. The fact that we have so many districts and we can't come together to have a common calendar. The idea that one school district has a holiday and another doesn't, what do parents do? Pull them out of both. You know, so we suffer ADA, we have learning loss. And so I hope that maybe our superintendent can talk to the MCOE, Deneen Gus, and say, you know what, we need to bring all the superintendents together and say, you know, we need to resolve this. Every year we have this problem. And it always comes down to us following the high school district's calendar because they have the most students. I understand that. But at the same time, if they're going to wait until, you know, in March, April, or whatever to finalize a calendar, all the other districts are already completing and finalizing there. So sometimes they're not aligned. And so this is a major concern of mine year after year after year. And I know I'm, you know, preaching to the choir here, but I hope the message eventually gets to MCOE and to the rest of the school boards. You know, this is ridiculous. You know, the idea that school districts can't work together to do something in common good, I find it abhorrent as educators. You know, this directly affects the ability of teachers and attendance, you know. So I thank you. You know, I hope when we created this calendar, it's somewhat relevant to the high school calendar, even though it's not approved yet, you know. So, but once again, this is a yearly concern, you know, and so I hope whoever's listening and, you know, superintendent, and, you know, we can have that discussion. You know, I'd love to be there and raise that issue as well. But this needs to be resolved, you know, year after year, decade after decade. This is ridiculous, you know. I apologize for going off a tangent, but after so many years, come on now. Thank you. Is that it? All right, we're going to move forward to here we go. Where's ours?
Down here.
Is it 6.5? No. Board and
is.
superintendent. What do I have it right here?
It's 6.5 and it's under board members and
All
superintendent.
right, board members. Here we go. Board members and superintendent. Cindy Lopez, can you go first?
So I don't have anything to report, but just was waiting for my turn to just emphasize on what you guys shared with us. It's awesome to see that we're venturing out, the little district making big moves. So it's awesome. It's awesome to see that we're going. I want to go with you to Mexico City too. I mean, that it's just, it's so cool. Summer, you know how I feel about everything you do and bring to our district. I mean, you guys are a great team. So I could never say thank you enough for that. I like I said, with this presentation, going back down memory lane, it's awesome to see in a different perspective what it takes to have what we have. So thank you, Melissa, for leading. I mean, thank you, fellow board members. We're awesome, and I mean, I just hope we could keep on bringing the change, adapting to change, and making all our students successful in the long run. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Cindy. Alba?
Yes, I attended the curriculum council meeting on, was it Monday? I know it was a Monday, but anyway, that was the most recent one that I went to. And it was very productive. The last two meetings, I was at the last two meetings. I didn't report out on the first one, but it was pretty much similar to what the one that we just had. And we were looking at supplemental materials for teachers. And I really like the way the curriculum council the curriculum meeting broke off into one section. I mean, the middle school went to a room to discuss what they were going to implement, try to, find Avid with that anyways. So, and then I stayed here with Becky, and Becky was awesome. She showed the teachers the data of what we saw and how the declining in reading was going, and how it was going not only through with our district, but throughout California. So we broke out, but what was very interesting is that Becky allowed the teachers, and I guess there was principals there too, to give their feedback on some of these supplemental materials. And so I was right next to Becky, but I listened, and we had a parent there. And that was awesome, because usually you don't see a parent at the curriculum council meeting, but she had a lot to say. She really did. So that was she interacted very well. And then right after that, the other group came back. However, our group, the elementary level, they all are agreeing on a supplemental material as a unit, as a group. And there was no, they didn't argue about it. They talked about it. And I think they're coming up with a really good supplemental material. I saw it myself, and I would like to use that material with my grandkids who they're not below grade level, but they still need that reinforcement. But I can't remember the name. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right. And so I was very impressed with how the meeting went. It was really a good meeting, and the last two meetings. So Becky, thank you. I think, and Melissa went with the middle school. And I think we all came with a conclusion of what we want to see for our kids to bring that reading level up. I would like for you guys to see a sample of it, actually. I'm hoping that we could bring it on so you could actually see it in motion. And one of our teachers from Santa Rita, what's her name? Sheila McNeese. Yes, she was awesome, because she's using it with fidelity right now. And she is seeing how the growth in the joy, and like she said, I want my kids to be reading. And so anyways, that's my spill on that, and we'll listen to Jeanette.
All right, thank you very much. Jake.
Well, for myself, thank you, Mr. Patel, for being board president. And I missed the last meeting, and it was kind of good to know that I have a good team that I feel comfortable enough meetings, but at the same time, so last week I went to Sacramento, to the state capitol, and I talked to some legislators. I was there for a California State University lobby day. And so the budget's going to get tight. And one of the biggest things I've kind of realized that when I talk to a lot of community folks or parents, there's a really big disconnect as far as how the district gets funding and why we can't either pay staff more, teachers more, why our schools don't get updated and renovated. And part of it has to do with state funding, right? And a lot of times how that's made. So, to the community, anybody out there, I would just say, as the next budget comes up, just stay informed, because I think oftentimes the focus is on the school district, which is important. That's what we have here as school board members, to make sure all those funds get pushed, but also as the pot of money gets tighter, it's important for the state to know that investment in education is super important, especially coming out of COVID. We're hitting a lot of different issues there. And one thing I stress to a lot of the senators is if you don't invest in education, you're not investing in our future workforce. So when you look at tax collection and our economy, if we don't have a strong education, then we're going to see the same budget issues in the future, because we're not going to have the workforce that's going to be there to kind of keep moving California forward. So that's all I have to report.
Wow, I'm just I don't know what to say. I'm surrounded by people going to the state of California, going to Sacramento, representing. I'm loving it. A couple of things. I want to thank. I went to the concert, the combined concert with our two middle schools, and let me just tell you, phenomenal, packed house, not a single place to sit. I mean, you had the entire place. I mean, all different levels of musicians, and what Galen does is phenomenal, and he brought this idea of what are the programs we're providing to occupy our students' time so they don't do negative things. That's what I always come down to. And that is, we can only control what we can control. And that the district is enduring after-school programs. I mean, implementing after-school programs, doing Saturday academies, having after-school sport programs, having a music program. These are the critical hours. I don't worry about 8 to 3. I worry about 3 to 9. And whatever we can do to expand opportunities to have those students with, and doing positive, developing things, whether it be sports, education, music, or additional academic support, whatever we can do as a district to continue to grow that. I saw the number of sports being listed. I see the music program, I see the Saturday. And once again, we're on the right trajectory. I just want to make sure, we develop it even further, we really want to change our school. We really want to change our community. Well, it starts with our young and making sure that we occupy their time doing positive things so that we don't give them the opportunity to run into negative things outside of our control. So I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. Okay, Dr. Alderman.
I went to Sacramento yesterday and had a really interesting experience. So I was there with 2 other superintendents and some lobbyists. We're talking to our legislators about appropriate funding for school facilities. And, getting them to entertain the idea of creating an approach that was more formulaic, like how we did with LCFF funding, so that districts like ours with a high poverty level and concerns with our students and a lower property value than some of our neighbors, even in Monterey County, that it's funded differently. And so that we are able to get an appropriate piece of that pie. And so we met, we had 6 official meetings and then 2 sort of sidebar meetings with a couple of other of our legislators. So we met with some assembly members and some of our state senators or their chief of staff yesterday. I say it was interesting because it was like walking into a beehive of activity. There's a lot of energy going on at the state level with people lobbying and sharing information and making appeals for things. And the discovery that education may not be lobbying for itself effectively the way that some of our other groups are lobbying speaks to the need that we need some more advocacy at the state level for all kinds of facets with education. So my focus yesterday was appropriate funding for school facilities.
Hey, just to comment a little bit, I want to thank both of my board members and my superintendent here. There's a false belief out there that all public schools are funded the same. That is an absolute lie. The truth is, the richer districts with the lobbyists have we been able to control the legislature to a point where we have the inequities that we see now. There are districts within 30 miles of here have a completely different base of funding than we do here. There's no justification for it. You know, we all pay tax dollars. We also have the same level of education dollars back. And so I appreciate our superintendent fighting for us and our board member. You know, somebody has to fight for our districts, you know, and I'm so glad it's two from here. So I just want to say personally, thank you very, very much. This is a big issue, you know, big issue. And this has been ongoing. And as a board member, I hear from our parents, how come this school has this? How come this district has that? Well, here's the reason, you know, but we do the best we can with the dollars we have. So thank you very much. We're going to move forward with 7.0 public comments with our current agenda items. I'm sorry, first with our non-agenda item, 7.1.
We have no public comments unless anyone has anything. Okay.
Okay, we're going to move forward to 7.2 agenda items.
Anyone here with
Any
us?
public comment?
We have no public comments submitted.
Okay, now we're going to go on to our informational reports. 8.1, information of MCOE first interim budget approval letter.
Thank you. This letter just documents the approval from MCOE for the first interim budget report.
Is there a presentation on this? Or?
No, this is just for your information. Mhm.
Okay, so there's no approval or anything, yeah?
Nope.
Okay, any board members have any clarifying questions before I move forward? Okay, we're going to move forward to 8.2, Information District Curriculum Council Supplemental Elementary Reading Curriculum.
Thank you. From our curriculum council, we have our representative here, Jeanette Zavala, who is a teacher at Santa Rita Elementary School.
First grade teacher, in front of first grader.
Your microwave. Is your microphone on?
My microwave works just fine.
Okay, thank you.
Is the light green, Jeanette?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, as
It's-
mentioned, I'm Jeanette Zavala and I'm a first grade teacher at Santa Rita Elementary. And I'm here today on behalf of our district's curriculum council. I will be speaking today about our collective decision regarding supplemental ELA programs. And before I get started, I do want to say that I am so lucky to work with a great team of teachers who are passionate about children's education and even more passionate about getting our students to learn how to read. I know that in the last 2 years, many of our Santa Rita well, not just our school, but our Santa Rita district have taken the optional PD hours to learn more about the science of reading. So they are invested in making a change and helping our students learn how to read. Over the years, my colleagues and I have found that too many of our students have failed to meet the reading standards set by the state of California. Reading research has shown that with a systematic explicit phonics program, 95% of students are capable of learning to read. This includes students who are multilingual, live in poverty, and or have dyslexia. Teachers of this district and around the nation have recognized that balanced literacy programs like our current Journeys program are failing to meet the needs of our students. Our current program lacks a solid foundational skills program, which is necessary for students to learn how to read and write. If we do not change something in our ELA instruction, students will continue to struggle with reading. And research has found that if a student does not know how to read by the end of first grade, they will continue to struggle in reading and will exponentially fall further behind in the later grades. Santa Rita Union School District continues to see low academic achievement scores in ELA. Through the years of using this curriculum alone, we have yet to see students show growth in reading and writing. Elementary teachers in our curriculum council have had multiple discussions and considerations about what needs to change to increase our students' academic achievement. We know that without reading, students will not show success in our state standard assessments. Elementary teachers at our district's curriculum council have agreed that our next step should include a systematic, explicit program to teach students how to read. The good news is there are 2 very affordable programs that are research-based, fairly easy for teachers to implement, and have shown success within our own classrooms. And I heard you, and we are open to have you come in and see these lessons in action. The first program DCC recommends for our elementary students is Heggerty. Heggerty is a phonemic awareness program that has proven to be effective. In October of 2023, most of our K-2 grade teachers at Santa Rita Elementary began to pilot this program for our district. I do want to say that before that, a year before that in 2022, myself and Ms. McNeese piloted this program before we started to share out to the district. We saw a lot of success, and as we began to share the impact it was making in our students, other teachers in our district were intrigued to try it out. We have undoubtedly seen growth in our students who participated in Heggerty lessons. We continue to use this program, and we continue to see the impact it has had for our students. They perform better on our phonemic awareness screeners, and overall, they learn to decode at a faster rate than those who have not used Heggerty. The second program DCC recommends for our elementary students is UFly. The University of Florida Literacy Institute has created an explicit systematic phonics program and has provided the vast majority of the resources needed to teach this program at free of cost to educators and parents. The main investment is in the cost of the manual and some manipulative resources. Many of the teachers at our district asked to use this program to supplement our ELA program. At my site, 2 kindergarten teachers, all of the first grade teachers, all of our second grade teachers, and 1 third grade teacher have been able to pilot this program. We are very pleased with the reading data we have collected so far. Our students love these programs and they love the confidence they have in reading. It is clear that SRUSD students from TK to 5th grade lack the foundational skills required in order to be successful readers. On behalf of our district's curriculum council, we ask for the board's approval to purchase both Heggerty and UFly for our elementary school students. Every student has the right to learn how to read, and we strongly believe these programs will be a positive step in that direction. Thank you. Question? Any questions?
Just a couple. You said you personally tested this out with another teacher and you saw results. How was the reception from your colleagues upon learning of your success and this program? And what was their level of involvement in terms of building consensus for the curriculum?
I feel a lot of teachers were intrigued and they were willing to try it out. We did have some pushback from some teachers because they felt like this was an additional thing for them to do, but it was more of a replacement of what the program lacked, the curriculum. So a lot of teachers have been able to do it. The teachers that have tried it out are excited that there is no lesson planning in phonemic awareness and phonics because it's all in the manual. It's very easy for teachers and students, very easy to implement, and it's timed. You have 30 to 35 minutes to do this specific lessons, and with time it shows improvement. So I think teachers would find it fairly easy to use this curriculum or program.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my question is, so what are the main differences you see what was being done before with this program?
So
some of the reasons why you feel like this is being more effective.
Our current curriculum doesn't have a strong phonics and phonemic awareness instruction. It is all over the place. So, K through 2nd do not align in what they're teaching in phonics or how it's taught. So it hasn't been successful. What I've noticed, and I'm completing my 5th year at Santa Rita Elementary, and what I've noticed in the 5 years is that last year when I started, I had more students writing CVC words and writing sentences than I had my first year that I started. And I also, this year, one of the things that makes me really excited is that we have newcomers all the time. And I have a newcomer who arrived in mid-October who is currently reading 8 out of 10 CVC words. And this is all to this specific strategy, explicit, systematic way of teaching phonics and phonemic awareness.
So I think you mentioned, I guess the way it's currently done, teachers have to do lesson plans. So is it part of them kind of figuring out what they're going to do versus this way? You're saying it's more of a structured approach because the material is there. Here's the program. This is what you need to follow. And so there's more systematic kind of across the board. Is that kind of what I'm understanding?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, very good. I like the research that you presented and stuff. So I've seen the manual. I've seen it with Sheila when it was presented and the different parts of it. And I can really see, okay, Journeys is our main curriculum. But like Jeanette said, it doesn't have everything in there, especially the phonemic awareness and the phonics that she's saying. But I believe that this curriculum is necessary for the teachers to implement. One thing I do say is that if they're going to use a curriculum, I know I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I think it should be across the board. Everybody has to use it. It's almost like you have to mandate it. Otherwise, you're going to have some teachers do this or doing some of it, another grade level, maybe 2 or 3. It has to be across the board, because if it's not used properly, well, not properly, teachers use it really good, from what I gathered. It just has to be mandated.
Yeah. And I guess the thing I was going to mention was, it's good to have these conversations when you say, hey, whatever we have is not working. I'd rather hear somebody come say, hey, this is not working on the data, as much as you've been saying, hey, for the last couple of years, what you've been doing hasn't been working, because if not, then we just continue the same cycle of it. So thank you for being part of the pilot to trying to make a difference and being engaged. I think it does take a lot of courage also to say, hey, we got to figure something out, so I think that's the only time that change happens. So thank you.
And then they saw the data. So they're, the teachers know what's going on. And like I mentioned to them, they're the ones that are in the trenches and they need those tools. They really need those tools. And if we don't, I don't know, I'm just for this program, and I'm just hoping that the board will consider adopting.
Any comments?
The only comment I wanted to mention is I'm in agreement with my fellow board members, but change, right? Especially this district, especially in Santa Rita, and to have put it there, tested it there, seen the improvements there. I also feel very confident that this is something that more than likely will work, because reading is very important. Our kids need it, especially in that school. So thank you for that. It takes a lot of courage to know where you're at and, trying to switch something up. So I did
Took
think
me 1 year to realize it was a problem. Year 1,
Yeah.
I was researching.
Yeah. So thanks for that. And yeah, I'm also on board with them. So thank you.
So we will bring this back as an action item to our next meeting then for adoption.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
I just wanted to add real quick. I just have to brag on Ms. Zavala real quick while she's here in public. So you heard her here today. Not only does she dedicate herself to this work, she's also a restorative practice lead at that site and is my go-to for all of it, and is currently completing her master's to become a school administrator. So she's also balancing a full school load and being a mom and a wife and an amazing teacher. So I want to publicly say thank you, Jeanette, for all you do also.
Thank you.
I just want to come back around a little bit. First of all, Journeys. It's a standardized book. It doesn't have the individualness to adapt to each district, given the socioeconomic population base. So our supplement, it takes even a vital role, and that has to be unique to our district. And what I can say is that, we really need to implement reading programs. I myself in the high school level, when we give our test, normally in previous years, they were average of, 1 to 2 years behind. After COVID, we're looking at 3 to 4 years behind. And so our school, our district, we went all out and said, every teacher, we're all going to work on reading. We're all going to work on comprehension, bring that in. Certain amount of time of your curriculum, you have to dedicate. We have to play catch up, and we got to do it school-wide, in this case, district-wide. So I love the fact that you said, we need to implement it across-wide. The issue is going to be buy-in. But the truth is, we have to do it. We have to fix this problem. We have to play catch up and then move forward. So I thank you for everyone coming together, the teachers, staff, and parent that you said, So I would like to see some more information after, we vote on it, maybe in a year or half a year, some type of progress report, if you will. Any other requests on this? All right. So this was an information item, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to 9.0, 9.1, approval of resolution of adopting local goals and policies for Community Facilities District.
I'm representing our CBO, Rosa Zamudio, who isn't here with us this evening. We are looking to adopt a resolution with local goals and policies for Community Facilities District. So as part of a Melrose Community Facilities Act, the district is required prior to initiating any procedures to establish a CFD to consider and adopt local goals and policies related to it. And the district is considering whether to later this year or the following year initiate such proceedings to establish a CFD. And to that end, Resolution 2402 23 adopts local goals and policies for CFDs and contains those provisions required by the Act. This CFD, should the district determine that we will formulate one, would be specific to the incoming development known as WASP and would not create an additional tax on our current community. It would be for the future development and the schools within that development.
I would like to entertain any comments. If not, then a motion.
I motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to 9.2, approval of contract with Blair Church and Flynn.
This contract is related to the prior item and it is to engage the services of Blair Church and Flynn for development of a potential CFD map at a fee of $4,900. The consultant previously assisted our district in preparation of our recent bond and taxing boundaries. And so this fee reflects that the firm already has some of the essential data. And so it's coming in at a lesser cost than if we had pursued with someone fresh.
I motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano,
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Next up, 9.3, approval of contract with Economic and Planning Systems, EPS.
This contract is also related to the prior two items, and it is to engage the services of Economic and Planning Systems, known as EPS, in preparation of Melrose Community Facilities District formation documents in support of a proposed CFD that would fund the construction of new school facilities. This contract is not to exceed $16,000. That includes a $12,000 base and additional in-person attendance as arranged by the district at a $2,000 per day rate.
Comment or motion?
I motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano?
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, the big item of the night. And 9.4, approval of tentative agreement between CSEA Chapter 503 and the Santa Rita Union District for 23-24 contract negotiations.
Thank you. As Ms. Casillas shared during her CSEA report, we reached a tentative agreement for our contract negotiations for the current 23-24 school year. The agreement includes an increase to the classified salary schedule of 6% across the board effective July 1st, 2023, a one-time off-schedule bonus of $4,000 to each bargaining unit member employed through the end of this school year, which would be their last working day, depending on their calendar. An increase of the shoe reimbursement for food service employees from a maximum of $100 per year to $150 for safety due to inflation, and a protective shoe reimbursement for maintenance, grounds, warehouse, and custodial staff, also up to $150 per year.
Comments?
Just really quick. It says increase the salary schedule across the board by 6% effective July 1st, 2023. Okay.
Yes, because our negotiations did not conclude prior to this school year beginning as they have in the past few years.
Okay.
Comment? I have a comment.
Yeah, I was saying, no, I was just gonna say, I appreciate the relationship that we have with the unions and, and we have in our district and a lot of other districts, sometimes, board members don't talk or their district staff is very confrontational. So I appreciate, we always can at least have a conversation to try to find an agreement. So I'm happy that we're able to reach an agreement and yeah, that was my comment.
I just want to say one last thing. Thank you very much for all of your work. CSC, I was a classified employee at one time, and I know how valuable all of you are. So thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Like I said, I was a hawk, and I do not recall, but I am seeing someone right here wearing, and I recognize her. And so to know that, she was someone there and now she is actually here representing, that is awesome. So I just wanted to highlight that. And thank you. I see you.
When I started teaching over 2 decades ago, my first day on the job, I was talking to a master teacher, if you will, and he said, "Do you know who the most important people on campus are?" I go, "Yeah, principal." He goes, "Wrong." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No, the most important people on this campus and every campus, secretary, plant technician, engineer, and food services." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Those are the 3 that keep this entire system going. Never forget that." And to this day, those words still I carry forward. I want to, once again, we can never pay you enough. Like I said last meeting to our teachers and staff and our admin, we can never pay enough. We have constraints. But whatever we can do to be efficient and get the maximum we can to our employees, we struggle to, and we always try to, and we do. But I want to make a special comment to CSEA. When the negotiations came up, you chose an alternate route, and that was to share the bonus. And once again, that proved to me that the most important people always take care of each other. And for you to do that, and then I see other groups doing it as well, that goes beyond camaraderie. That goes to the point of love and love of your fellow man, and we're in this together. So I want to thank you, CSEA, for putting that out. And when I saw that, it just reaffirmed to me what I heard 20 years ago, and that is, these are the most important people, and so I just want to say thank you. And once again, with that, any other comments? We can motion to, I'd love to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano?
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty, keep on going down the choo-choo train. Choo-choo 9.5, approval of salary schedule increase and one-time off-schedule bonuses for unrepresented units of 23-24 school year.
Thank you. And I'm going to start off by just reporting that there is one that we added this year that I inadvertently missed. So I will bring that back at the next board meeting. And the one employee on that salary schedule is aware. She received a personal apology from me. So to also look at our unrepresented groups, we are looking at essentially applying a Me Too. So for classified confidential and classified management, we would look to a recommendation mirroring CSEA's agreement of increasing the salary schedule of 6%, retroactive to July 1st, 2023, and also providing a one-time off-schedule bonus of $4,000 after the end of the school year. And then for certificated management, mirroring the SRTA's agreement of increasing the salary schedule across the board by 6% and providing a one-time off-schedule bonus of 4% to employees who work through the end of the school year.
Comment. So do we need to table this item, or we're approving?
We can approve these now, and I'll bring the next one.
Comments? I have a comment, that's why.
Oh, go ahead.
Just for the public to know, when we say Me Too agreement, what that means is basically that all the other represented groups will follow what has already been agreed upon by the teachers. We normally go first. My understanding is correct. And most years. But in other words, whatever one groups get, all the other groups. And this builds camaraderie, this builds morale, this builds community. Otherwise, we would have 5 different contracts with different increases, which would create animosity between different groups. So for the public out there, Me Too helps reduce that friction and brings more commonality and appreciation of fellow employees, despite whatever group you belong to. And so if they're asking why are they getting this much, it's the same. It's the same. And once again, for the classified to step up again in management to share that 4,000, I commend you as well. Having said that, comment or motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano.
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, 9.6, approval of contract with Psych. Is it really Psych Ed?
Psych
Like
Services is the name of the company.
But this is Psych Ed. Psych
Psych
Psych Ed? Is that
Services.
Psych Ed? Psych. Oh, I thought I was going to say Ed for education in there. All right, psyched. Oh, I'm psyched now.
Perfect. So this contract is for a company that offers psychologists to come in. So it is a contract. We're utilizing one-time funds. As you know, special education has lots of assessments across our district right now as we approach summer. So this contract is to help cover some of our school psychologists that are over their caseloads at the time. So focusing in on Santa Rita, who has a lot of assessments, as well as our non-attending and preschool team. So it's not to exceed this amount, but again, it's between now and the end of the school year.
Comment or motion?
So just to clarify, so we have school psychologists, but is anything to help ease their workload that they have now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a couple companies that do this work. And I actually really looked into this company. A couple of our sister districts utilize it when they get overages like this. And one of the really nice parts is they do come in person. They work collaboratively with the team. Every one of their school psychologists is bilingual. And I got sample reports. I was like, all right, this sounds really good. Send me some of the reports just for me to be able to look at the integrity and make sure that it is high quality assessments. And I was really impressed. So it is a pricey service, right? Anytime we're contracting and reaching out, it's not as expensive as if we went out and requested like an IEE or an outside assessment, but it is more expensive, right? So again, it's something that I've kind of held off on bringing to you, but I really felt that right now with just where our numbers are sitting, we need that support just to make sure we have quality assessments that are still occurring.
No, and I appreciate that, especially for our staff, because I think to be effective, we don't want to cause burnout and whatever.
Absolutely. We want to still ensure that we have quality services
Exactly.
happening for our students too, right? There's assessments and then the services piece is so essential.
Okay, thank you. I motion to approve.
I second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano.
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, 9.7. Approval of contract with Playworks.
Thank you. This is actually what I went over and whispered to Juanita about because I thought she was leaving. But I'm bringing this contract forward to you for dual purposes. So the first part of this will be a training that will be held for our classified staff during the PD day on April 2nd. If any of you have heard of Playworks, they're in several of our neighboring districts, and they really come in and support our staff who oversee recess times in how to promote organized games, group supervision. We know that when we look at our discipline data, the majority of our discipline is occurring during those less structured periods like recess. And when we talk to our staff who are overseeing it, they don't feel like they've had appropriate training to do what's been asked of them. And so Playworks will come in, they'll work directly with the staff, starting with this professional development. And in the incoming year, 24-25, they will come 4 days a week onto our campuses, support the staff who are overseeing recesses, provide all the materials needed for games, teach them new games and activities with students, lead them and do coaching with that team, as well as all of the staff at that site. We know that everybody's responsible for play, and so everybody at the site will have that opportunity. The Playworks program has shown great success in reducing rates of discipline during periods of play. And it's great for PE, lots of those other times as well. So this contract will cover the professional development day that will be occurring on April 2nd, in which we've invited all of our classified staff to attend, as well as those independent contracts with each of our districts for the upcoming school year.
So the goal is kind of to encourage those, or not necessarily being active during the recess time?
Yeah, it's really, I went out and observed some of their coaches in Salina City as they worked with Salina City team. So there's a bank of games. So they'll teach, there's a series of trainings that they do. They'll teach them a lot of the games. And then how do you facilitate 300 students on a playground and keep them engaged in those activities? And so their coaches came in, they worked with the staff, they led activities so that others could see them. They worked with the school leadership to make sure that the ideas and the mentality of engagement are happening throughout the campus. They'll work on activities like what is the best way for students to walk to and from that space? How do you designate the spaces where students wait? So yeah, lots of really great. I'm excited. I'm really excited to bring them on.
That's a unique concept they came up with to that type of consulting. I mean, from that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's one of those that there was some programs that taught sports and they said, okay, here's some activities. You could get that Sparks binder. If any of you remember Sparks back in the day, that's old school, but you could give teachers or activities the Sparks binder and it had some games, but it didn't. It's like giving teachers UFly and saying, just do it, right? Like you have to be trained. And so these are experts in that facilitation. And so they'll be there to train all of us as well.
Okay, so
Go ahead. I was trained in Playworks at Sherwood. And prior to that, Playworks, we saw a lot of, I used to do yard duty often. And so when Playworks came in, implemented and I was trained, I had to do basketball. And all of us had to really engage in it. And I'll tell you, it did reduce
for sure
a lot of the discipline out there. Even myself as a yard duty person, when I was out there and Playworks was already in its second year, it was like, it was very structured, very structured, but fun.
Yes. That's kind of their philosophy.
Yeah. And the discipline went down. So I'm glad to see it.
Yeah.
So just a quick, is it all grade levels or just elementary?
So they just right now we're doing elementary because that's the only spot currently where we have like that recess period. So I'm working with them around what could look like at our middle school during the lunch period. Right now there's already kind of our PE team does a lot of facilitated games. So we're going to look at what it would look like. Right now we're focusing on the elementary because they have more of those unstructured.
That's what I was hoping was we focus more on elementary and then eventually see the progress and then maybe pull it up,
And then I just wanted to add, you might have noticed in the budget sourcing, it also includes our expanded learning opportunity program, our ELOP. All of our expanded learning opportunity staff will receive training in Playworks as part of their onboarding for ELOP as we bring those positions on board, because a big portion of their time is going to be supporting students during outdoor times before and after school. So that's why it's split funded. The during the day period would be through our LCAP funding, and then the before and after school training will take place for our ELOP staff.
Any comment or
motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano?
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Aye. Alrighty then, 9.8, approval of contract with National Demographics Corporation.
Thank you. We've talked at previous meetings about the need to have a professional review of our school attendance boundaries. I know it hasn't been done in my time here. And this contract is with National Demographics. And we're familiar with this company because they're the ones that assisted in developing our trustee areas. So they also have a good bulk of our district residential data, and we're able to fill in with student enrollment patterns and things like that. But it allows for a comprehensive look at balancing our enrollment overall between our schools as well as programmatically. So right now we've got some programs concentrated at specific schools, and that eventually would create an equity issue. So in order to do this and make sure that our students are being served at the right capacity, and we are able to know and predict where there is available space for future students, potentially housing interim students if the development begins soon, and being able to do that across the district.
And just question, can you give like a brief, like, I guess, process or timeline of how that would kind of occur? Like, so they would go out there, obviously first do their work, and then potentially within what time period will we potentially look at the boundaries?
So they do this work behind the scenes, and then they give us what we'll receive from them are a couple of possible recommendations for us to look at. Our next step is engaging, and we're talking about doing a thought exchange initially with our families, and then some engagement meetings, particularly when we have the different options available. They'll give us different proposals, sort of like they did with our trustee map, so that then at a board meeting, we can have that discussion as well, bring in that input from our community and our considerations of finalizing those boundaries. Like for instance, our middle school overall enrollment it's fairly within a range. So we're going to see some schools that might not have a lot of shift. But it's good to do it holistically, because we'll need to know where there are middle school seats as well as elementary seats available moving forward. And this will lead into, once the development comes in, being able to then grow that information about attendance boundaries.
Okay,
So,
perfect, thank you.
so any changes, are you visioning 24, 25 or 25, 26?
24, 25.
That fast? Huh?
Yeah.
And then a supplemental one down the road?
We'll need to do it. Ideally, you do this within about a 5 to 10 year range, at least a small scale review, just to make sure that things haven't gone out of balance again, which the reason I think it's important to have a professional look at this. We tried doing this in-house years ago, and the imbalance with Santa Rita Elementary just came to fruition again. And so we need to have some professional assistance with this, and helping us not just look at where the patterns are, but how that impacts transportation routes and those things as we redo those boundaries a little bit.
Yeah, I concur. Reviewing and redrawing attendance boundaries is probably one of the most critical aspects, because that affects so many things, especially with concerns from parents, and transportation issues and equity issues. And so I just hope we do it very thoroughly, and we get a lot of input from our community. But this is consequential. This is huge. And so I hope the board,
We also know that our neighboring elementary district is doing this process as well. We know that Alisal has begun this as well for similar reasons. They're also poised to have a new development and need to look at where their current boundaries are.
all right, comment or motion, please.
Motion to approve?
I second.
Ms. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano?
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Oh, choo-choo train, time for the caboose. Last one, 9.9, approval of CSBA manual maintenance, December 2023.
And this is that fun board role that Mr. Sandoval volunteered to do, to go through our quarterly. We receive updates for board policies, usually related to new laws, regulations, language changes to simplify or clarify something. But it comes quarterly because it's pretty meaty. And a couple of years back, we got into the cycle of updating our board policies and staying on top of those. So I appreciate Mr. Sandoval also taking a read through all of these so that we can bring these to you in a timely manner.
Comments or motion?
I want to say thank you. Thank you for doing that on behalf of the board. You're a fairly new father, so thanks to your wife and baby too. It takes a lot, so seriously, thank you for that. And with that, if nobody else has anything, I would like to motion.
Second.
Yeah, I do get behind sometimes. Sometimes I do. And he's like, "Have you read?" I said, "Give me another week." It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. So.
Ms. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano?
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, 10.1. Our next board meeting, March 13th. The March is coming pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right, for 10.2, any changes to 10.1? Wait, on 10.2, suggested future board items. Any board member want to?
None. I just have a couple of questions briefly. May 10th is the teacher of the year. Is it the teacher
Yes.
or is it the,
Both,
okay, and so is it gonna be at the same place?
I believe so, at Embassy Suites.
Okay, and then also the April 20th Community Fair. That's on, is it on a Saturday?
It's a Saturday, April 20th here at GVMS
Okay.
from
so it's gonna be
11
here.
to 3.
It probably was posted, but
Yeah.
I just haven't.
You'll be getting a lot of more information soon. I'm kind of holding off till mid-March to make sure. I mean, our committee's done it, been sending it out, but you'll get more.
And that's it. Go ahead.
Regarding graduation, are we set on
That's
locations
right.
for GB? Where are we going? And Sherwood for,
Rancho San Juan again.
we're gonna do it again over there? It was windy last time. It was cold. I remember that day. I faced one way, my hair faced that way.
Oh, don't forget to book a flight for me,
Okay.
Mexico.
Mexico.
And Cindy. Yes.
I motion to
You
adjourn.
know, why can't we recruit people from Hawaii?
Right.
All right. I would love to entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano.
Aye.
Mr. Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Motion passes 4-0.
Why can't we have a board retreat in Hawaii?
I know.